Hello children, welcome to botany class. How are you all children? I hope all are fine and safe by the grace of God. Standard 12, Chapter 6, Principles of Ecology. Are you all interested to know about our environment children? Yes. Come, let us learn through this chapter ecology. What is ecology? It is a Greek word. Ecology is a Greek word which is derived from two words, that is ecos and logos. Ecos and logos. What is ecos? Ecos meaning house. Logos means study. Ecos means what? House or dwelling places. Logos means what? Study. So study of dwelling place or house is called as ecology. In a definition, we can say ecology is a branch of biology that deals with the study of environment in relation to the organisms. Writer in 1868, he proposed the ecology. But most widely accepted definition of ecology was given by Ernst Haeckel. Writer proposed the term ecology. Most widely accepted definitions was given by Ernst Haeckel. What is ecology, children? It is a branch of biology that deals with the study of environment in relation to the organisms. How can we study ecology? We can study ecology by considering individual organism, population, community, biome or biosphere with the environment. We can study ecology by considering the individual organism, population, community, biome or biosphere with the environment. While observing different environments, one can raise questions like how do plants or animals vary with places? How plants or animals different in different places? Next question they can ask, what are the causes for variations of biological diversity in different regions? How soil, climate, physical features affect flora and fauna? So all these questions can be asked by one person. So for all these questions, the better answer we can get from only with the help of the study of ecology. With the help of ecology, we can get answers for all these questions. Definitions of ecology. According to writer in 1885, what is ecology? Ecology is the study of living organisms, both plants and animals, in their natural habitat. According to Ernst Haeckel in 1889, what is ecology? Ecology is the study of reciprocal relationship between the living organism and their environment. According to Ernst, ecology means what? It is the study of reciprocal relationship between the living organism and their environment. Ecological hierarchy. What is ecological hierarchy? The interaction of organism with the environment results in the grouping of organism is called ecological hierarchy, which is otherwise known as ecological levels of organization. So, when there is an interaction of organism with the environment, it results in the grouping of organisms. That is called as ecological hierarchy. The basic unit of ecological hierarchy is individual organism. Individual organism is the basic unit. Now, let us study the different hierarchy of ecological system. Individual organism forms population. Population forms community. Community forms ecosystem. Ecosystem forms landscape. Landscape combined to form biome. Biome forms biosphere. Now let us study each one. In brief, individual organism. Individual organism here refers to the single species. It combined to form population. What is population? Population is a group of individuals of same species. Group of individuals of same species is called population. Population forms community. Community means a group of organisms living in the same place. Group of organisms living in the same place is called community. Community forms ecosystem. In our lower class we studied ecosystem, isn't it? The study of interaction of living and non-living components is called ecosystem. For example, forest ecosystem, grassland ecosystem and so on. Ecosystem forms landscape. Landscape here is a visible feature. A visible feature of an area of land. A visible feature of an area of land is called landscape. Landscape forms biome. Biome here any regional community, any major regional community, any major regional community of plants and animals with similar life forms and environmental conditions. Okay, so this is known as what? Biome. Any major regional community of plants and animals with similar life forms and environmental condition is known as biomes. Biome forms biosphere. Biosphere is the envelope that contains all the living organisms on earth is called biosphere. Many advancements and development in the field of ecology resulted in new dimensions and branches. Some of the advancement field of ecology are molecular ecology, statistical ecology, environmental toxicology, ecotechnology. Ecology is mainly divided into two branches, namely horticology and synecology. What is horticology? Horticology means ecology of individual organism, individual species. It is also otherwise known as species ecology. Horticology is otherwise known as species ecology. What is horticology? Horticology means ecology of individual species. Next is synecology. Synecology means ecology of population or community with one or more species. It is otherwise known as community ecology. Otherwise known as community ecology. Next, let us study what is habitat and niche. Habitat. In our lower classes itself, we have studied that what is habitat. Habitat is a place where an organism lives, isn't it? So, here habitat means a specific physical place occupied by an organism with a combination of abiotic factors. That is called as what? Habitat. But environment of any community is called biotope. Is called what? Biotope. Niche. What is niche? This niche word was first coined by naturalist Roswell Hill Johnson. He first coined the term niche, but it was used by Grinnell 1970. Grinnell only used the term first as what? Niche. What is niche? Niche means organisms place with the biotic factors. Organism place with the biotic factors is called as what? Niche. Ecotope. What is ecotope? Ecotope means the habitat and the niche of any organism is called as what? Ecotope. Ecological equivalence. What is ecological equivalence? Taxonomically, different species occupy similar habitats in different geographical regions. That is known as what? Ecological equivalence. For example, epiphytic orchids. Certain species of epiphytic orchids of Western Ghats of India is different from that of epiphytic orchids of South America. But both are epiphytes. What is epiphytes? The plant which live on the other plant for support. Orchid means what? Orchids are flowers with unshaped with a brightly colored. Okay. Next example is species of grassland. Species of grassland of Western Ghats of India is different from that of the temperate regions of North America. Okay. But ecologically both are primary producers. So these are some of the examples of ecological equivalence. Next is ecological factors. Ecological factors. What is ecological factors? Many organisms live on this environment. This environment includes physical, chemical and biological components. When this component surrounds an organism, it affects the life of the plant. It will become a factor. Now it will become a factor. Such factors are collectively called as ecological factors or environmental factors. Ecological factors or environmental factors. We can divide these factors into two called biotic factors and abiotic factors. Biotic and abiotic factors. Now, grouping all this meaningfully, it is listed that there are four major factors are there. That they are climatic factors, edaphic factors, topographic factors, biotic factors. Climatic, edaphic, topographic, biotic. Now let us discuss the climatic factors in concise manner. Climatic factors. Climatic factors. Climate is one of the important natural factor which is needed for the controlling the life of plant. These climatic factors includes light, temperature, water, wind, fire. Now let us discuss about the factor light. It is well known that light is very important for the basic physiological functions of the plant, such as photosynthesis, transpiration, seed germination, flowering. For all these activities, light is essential. Visible light. What is visible light? Visible light means the portion of the light which is seen by or resolved by human eye is called as what? Visible light. This visible light is observed between the wavelength of 400 to 700 nanometer. 400 to 700 nanometer. Here, between, that is the rate of photosynthesis is maximum at blue and red, that is between 400 to 500 nanometer, and red 600 to 700 nanometer. Green, that is a green wavelength between 500 to 600 nanometer. Here the absorption is less strongly absorbed by the plant. The wavelength less strongly absorbed by the plant is between 500 to 600 nanometer, that is green. Okay, so light is very important factor. Based on the light intensity, tolerance of light intensity, it is divided into two types, namely heliophytes and psiophytes. Heliophytes and psiophytes. What is heliophytes? Heliophytes means here the plants which love light. Light-loving plants are called heliophytes. Psiophytes means shade-loving plants. Shade-loving plants. For example, heliophytes are angiosperms. Angiosperms, they are light-loving plants. Example for psiophytes is bryophytes and pteridophytes. Bryophytes and pteridophytes. These are examples for heliophytes and psiophytes. Next important factor is temperature. Temperature affects almost all the metabolic activities of an organism. For every physiological process of an organism, it requires optimum temperature. So based on that, it is classified into three limits of temperature. They are minimum temperature, optimum temperature, maximum temperature. At minimum temperature, here the physiological process is low. Minimum temperature, physiological process is low. At optimum temperature, the physiological process is maximum. Physiological process is maximum. at maximum temperature the physiological process will stop. Okay, so at minimum the physiological process is what? Low, and optimum temperature, here the physiological process is maximum, and maximum temperature, here the physiological process will stop. Okay, and then according to scientist Ranke, he classified, that is based on the temperature, he classified the vegetation into 4 types. It is megatherms, mesotherms, microtherms and ecistotherms. Based on the temperature, here the vegetation is divided into 4 types, namely megatherms, mesotherms, microtherms and ecistotherms. Thermal tolerance. Based on the range of temperature, the plants are divided into, organisms are divided into 2 types. They are eurythermal and stenothermal. What is eurythermal? Eurythermal, here the organism can tolerate a wide range of temperature. For example, Zoostera. Zoostera, it is a marine angiosperm. Stenothermal. Stenothermal, here organism can tolerate a small range of temperature. That is known as what? Stenothermal. Example, mango, palm and so on. It is a terrestrial angiosperm. Terrestrial angiosperm. Next is thermal stratification. Thermal stratification. It is found in aquatic habitat. It is found in aquatic habitat. Here the temperature decreases, that is changes. The temperature changes when there is an increase in depth of the water in the water body. So this is called as what? Thermal stratification. What is it? It is the change in the temperature. Change in the temperature when the water increase in the depth of the water body. That is called as thermal stratification. So based on that, it has got 3 types. That is epilemnion, metalemnion and hypolemnion. Epi, meta and hypo. What is epilemnion? Epilemnion means here it is the upper layer of the water body which contain a warmer temperature. Warmer temperature. Metalemnion. Metalemnion here is middle layer of the water body. Here the temperature is decreasing. Temperature is decreasing. And then hypolemnion, here the water, bottom layer of the water with the colder region. With the colder. Okay. So epi means water, upper layer, meta, middle and hypo is bottom. Here the water temperature is what? Warmer in condition. Here it is medium, moderate and then decrease, and then hypo is what? Colder. Temperature based zonation. Variations in latitude and altitude do affect temperature and vegetation on the earth's surface. What is latitude? Latitude is what? Angle ranges between 0 degree at equator to 90 degree poles. Altitude. Altitude is height above the sea level. Next is effects of temperature. Effects of temperature. The following physiological process or take place because of the temperature. They are, first one is temperature affects the enzymatic actions of all biochemical reactions in a plant body. The next one, it influences carbon dioxide and oxygen solubility. Oxygen solubility, so that it will increase the respiration and stimulate the seed germination, seedling. And the next one is low temperature with the high humidity. Low temperature with the high humidity. It will spread the disease in the plants. And then next one is varying temperature with the moisture. That is varying temperature with the moisture. It will determines the distribution of the plants or distribution of the vegetation types. Water. Water is one of the important climatic factor. Water covers more than 70% of the earth's surface. In nature, water is available in 3 forms. They are soil water, precipitation and atmospheric moisture. The production and distribution of plants depend upon the availability of the water. Other than this, the quality of water is also important. Here, let us see the salinity, that is important, the total amount of water salinity present in the water bodies, that is 5% in the inland water, 30 to 35% in the sea water, more than 100% in the hypersaline water, that is in lagoons. Now let us discuss the tolerance of salinity in plants. Based on that, the organisms are divided into two types. Based on the tolerance of salinity, organisms are divided into two types called euryhylin and stenohylin. What is euryhylin? Euryhylin, here the organism can live in a wide range of salinity. That is called as euryhylin. Example, marine plants. Okay, marine plants. Marine angiosperms. Next one is stenohylin. Stenohylin, here organism which can live in a small range of salinity. Example here is plants of estuaries. For example, here rice, eichhornia, all this if you see means these plants can tolerate cadmium. Tolerate water, cadmium, by binding them to the proteins. Rice and eichhornia, agaya tamarai, arisi la solluvaanga. So it can tolerate the cadmium by binding to the proteins. For this, these plants are used to remove cadmium from the contaminated soil. This is called as phytoremediation. It is an important 2 mark question, children. So what is phytoremediation? Here the plants used to remove cadmium from the contaminated soil is called phytoremediation. Wind. Moving air is called wind. Wind also is an ecological factor. Here the atmospheric air contains number of gases, many gases, particles and then other constituents. Composition of gases in atmosphere. Nitrogen 78%, oxygen 21%, carbon dioxide 0.03%, argon and other gases are 0.93%. So these are the composition of the gases in atmosphere. Anemometer. It is an instrument which is used to measure the speed of a wind. Effects of wind. Here wind is the important factor which causes the formation of rain. Okay, and then next one, wind causes wave formation in the oceans and in lakes, and then it causes soil erosion. Strong wind causes soil erosion and reduces the soil fertility. Then increase in the rate of transpiration. Wind causes increase in the rate of transpiration. Next one, wind helps in pollination. You studied, isn't it, in your lower classes, transfer of pollen grains. So wind causes pollination in anemophilous flowers. Then strong wind causes uprooting of big trees. So uprooting of big trees, and then it helps in the dispersal of seeds, fruits and spores. So these are the effects of wind. Fire is another climatic factor. Fire is an exothermic factor which is caused due to the chemical process of combustion and releasing heat and light. So here fire is caused sometimes by man. Okay, it is man-made or by the friction between the tree surface. So the causal of fire is by both the method, man-made or artificial, that is by friction between the tree surface. Fire causal are of 3 types. 3 types of fires are there, that is ground fire, surface fire and crown fire. Ground fire, surface fire and crown fire. Ground fire, it is flameless and subterranean. Flameless, புகை இருக்காது, இது இருக்காது இல்லையா, நெருப்பு இருக்காது, புகை இல்லாமல் இருக்கிறது. அதுக்கப்புறம் சப்டெரேனா அண்டர் கிரவுண்டில் இருக்கிறது. ஓகேவா. தென் சர்ஃபேஸ் ஃபயர், it causes that is it consumes the herbs and shrubs. இது என்ன பண்ணும் இருக்கிற அந்த சின்ன சின்ன செடிகள் அந்த புதர் செடிகள்லாம் இருக்குல்ல அது எல்லாத்தையும் அழிக்கிறது தான் இது surface fire. Then crown fire. Crown fire, it will burn all the forest canopy. Okay, crown fire burns the forest canopy. So ground fire, it is flameless and subterranean. Surface fire, it consumes the herbs and shrubs. Crown fire, it burns the forest canopy. Then effects of fire. Effects of fire. So fire causes direct lethal effect on plants. இது என்ன பண்ணும்னா டைரக்டா பிளான்ட்டே அழிச்சிடும். Lethal means death. Then there is a burning scars on the plants. So it is the best place for the parasitic fungi or insect to enter. Burning scars are the suitable place for the entry of the parasitic insects, okay, and fungi. The next one, alteration in the alteration of fire that causes because of alteration it causes light, rainfall, pH, soil, flora and fauna, all this will be changed. That is alteration of the light, rainfall. It brings out the alteration, that is it brings out the alteration in the light, rainfall, pH, soil, flora and fauna. The next one is pyropylus. What is pyropylus? Some fungi grow in the area or soil of the burnt area. That is எங்கெல்லாம் அந்த இடம் நெருப்பால அழிஞ்சிருக்கு இல்லையா அந்த இடத்துல வந்து சில ஃபங்கை வளரும். So that is called as what? Pyropylus. Pyropylus. Pyropylus means what? Some fungi which grow in the soil of the burnt area. That is called as pyropylus. Such fungi is called as Pyrrhonema confluens. Pyrrhonema confluens. So it is an important 2 mark question. So what is pyropylus? Some fungi which grow in the soil of the burnt area. Pyropylus. These are the effects of the fire. Edaphic factors. Edaphic factors are abiotic factors related to soil, which includes the physical and chemical composition of the soil. The study of soil is called pedology. Study of soil is called pedology. How soil is formed? The soil is a withered superficial layer of the earth in which plants grow. The soil is formed because of the withering of rocks. Biological withering takes place through the breakdown of rocks through microorganisms, fungus, lichens and small plants. Hence the biological withering takes place here and it forms the soil. And then based on the soil formation, it is of 2 types. That is soil types. Residual soil and the transported soil. Residual soil and the transported soil. Residual means here the soil is formed by withering. Soil is formed by withering and pedogenesis. Then next one, transported soil. Transported soil, it is formed by the various agencies. It is transported by various agencies. These are the 2 types of soil types, residual soil and the transported soil. Some important edaphic factors affect vegetations. They are soil moisture, soil water, soil reaction, soil nutrient, soil temperature, soil atmosphere, soil organisms. These are some of the important edaphic factors which affect vegetation. Now let us begin with soil moisture. Soil moisture. Here the plant absorbs rainwater and moisture directly from the air. Then soil water. The water present in the soil. Here rain is the main source of soil water. Apart from this, capillary water, that is the water present in between the soil particles, pore space, that is also available to the plant. Then next one is soil reaction. The soil may be acidic, alkaline or neutral. Here the pH value only determines the soil. Okay, pH value only determines the distribution of soil. So here the best pH value for crop cultivation is 5.5 to 6.8. Then next one is soil nutrient. Soil nutrient. Here soil fertility and productivity. Soil fertility and productivity is the ability to provide the soil is the ability to provide all the essential plant nutrients. So soil nutrient plays very important role, because soil fertility and soil productivity only is the ability to provide the essential plant nutrients. Then soil temperature. Soil temperature. Here temperature is also another very important ecological component. That is because it will determine the distribution of it will determine the geographical distribution of plants. Soil temperature only will determine the distribution of geographical distribution of plants. Low temperature reduces the use of water. So soil temperature is important. Then soil atmosphere. Soil atmosphere. Here the space found between, that is the space found between the soil particles, that is called as what? Soil atmosphere, in which the carbon dioxide and oxygen is present. The space between the soil particles, which is called as pore space. Pore space, in which the carbon dioxide and oxygen are present. The next one, soil organisms. Here many organisms are present in the soil, such as bacteria, fungi, lichens, nematodes, earthworms, etc. So all these organisms are called as soil organisms. So these are some of the important edaphic factors which affect vegetation.
Soil profile. What is soil profile? Soil is commonly arranged in a sequence of layers at different depths as horizons. These layers differ in their physical, chemical and biological properties. This type of arrangement, one above the other at different depth, is called a soil profile. This succession of superimposed horizons is called soil profile. Now, with the help of this picture, let us study the different horizons of soil. The different layers of horizons are O horizon, A horizon, B horizon, C horizon, R horizon. O horizon, it is a organic horizon. It is made up of humus. Humus, இந்த horizon பேர் தமிழ் என்ன சொல்லுவாங்கன்னா கடைமட்டை இல்லைனா அடிவானம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஸோ ஹியர் ஹியூமன்ஸ் மீன்ஸ் இந்த மக்கிய நிலையில் இருக்குது இல்லையா, நியூட்ரியன்ஸ் எல்லாம் ரிச்சாக இருக்கும்ல, அந்த மாதிரியான ஒரு லேயர். ஸோ ஹியர் if you see, this horizon is made up of fresh or partially decomposed organic matter. Then O1, O2. O1 லேயரில் என்ன இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா freshly fallen leaves, twigs, flowers, fruits இதெல்லாம் இருக்கும். O2 if you see means dead plants, animals and their excreta, that is waste product which is decomposed by microorganisms. So first one, freshly fallen leaves, twigs, flowers and flowers, fruits and flowers. Next one if you see means dead and waste matter is decomposed by microorganisms are present. Then this layer is usually absent in agricultural land and deserts. So in the layer இந்த பகுதிகளில் இருக்காது. Then A horizon is called a leached horizon. Here topsoil often rich in humus and minerals. So topsoil itself is made up of what? Humus and minerals they are rich in. And then here topsoil என்னென்ன இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா humus இருக்கும், living creatures and inorganic minerals இருக்கும். Then again it has got horizons A1 and A2. A1 if you see means here this layer is dark, rich in organic matter, because here it contains a mixture of organic and mineral matters. Whereas A2 if you see means, please observe the picture children, A2ல பார்த்தீங்கன்னா light colored layer இருக்கு பாருங்க, because here it contains large size mineral particles. So A1 is dark and rich in organic matter, whereas A2 is light colored layer with a large sized mineral particles. Then B horizon, this layer is a accumulation horizon, குவியல் மாதிரி இருக்கிறது. So here it contains subsoil which is poor in humus and rich in minerals, whereas A horizon if you see means it is rich in both humus and minerals, but here poor in humus and rich in minerals. So since here humus is poor, it contains iron, aluminium, silica, rich clay, organic compounds. Then next C horizon, here partially withered horizon, பாதி பாதியான உடைக்கப்பட்ட அந்த சாயில் இருக்கிறது. ஸோ ஹியர் இட் கன்சிஸ்ட் ஆஃப் பேரண்ட் மெட்டீரியல்ஸ் ஆஃப் சாயில் அண்ட் லிட்டில் அமௌண்ட் ஆஃப் ஆர்கானிக் மேட்டர்ஸ் வித்தவுட் எனி லைஃப் ஃபார்ம்ஸ். உயிரோடு இருக்கிற எந்த மைக்ரோப்ஸோ இல்லை மற்ற இனங்களோ இருக்காது இதில். ஸோ இட் கண்டெயின் ஒன்லி பேரண்ட் மெட்டீரியல்ஸ் ஆஃப் சாயில் அண்ட் லிட்டில் அமௌண்ட் ஆஃப் ஆர்கானிக் மேட்டர்ஸ். அண்ட் ஆல்சோ இட் இஸ் இன் த ஃபார்ம் ஆஃப் விதர்ட் ராக் ஃப்ராக்மெண்ட்ஸ், சின்ன சின்னதாக பீசஸ் மாதிரி உடஞ்சிருக்கும். entirely there is no plant life, if at all present very little. Then R horizon, here the parent material is present, only the parent material is present, bedrock. So above this parent bedrock only underground water is present, found. Okay, so these are the different horizons of the soil profile. Now let us study about the different types of soils. Different types of soil based on the relative proportion of the soil particles. ஒப்பீடுன்னு சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா, எந்த அளவுக்கு இருக்குது ஒப்பீடு சதவீதம் அப்படின்னு, அதை பொறுத்து சாயில் has got different types. They are clayey soil, silt soil, loamy soil, sandy soil. Now let us see the size of the soil and the relative proportion of the soil. Clayey soil, the size of this is less than 0.002 millimeter. Here it is made up of 50% clay and 50% silt. Now silt soil, size of this is 0.002 to 0.02 millimeter. Here relative proportion is 90% silt and 10% sand. Loamy soil, the size of the loamy soil is 0.002 to 2 millimeter and it is made up of 70% sand and 30% clay or silt or sometimes of both. Next is sandy soil. Sandy soil, the size of this is 0.2 to 2 millimeter and it is made up of 85% of sand and 15% of clay. Here clayey soil and loamy soil, these are all நம்மளுக்கே தெரியும் இதெல்லாம் களிமண்ணால் ஆனது இல்லையா, களிமண்ணுன்னு சொல்லுவோம். அண்ட் தென் சில் அப்படின்றது வண்டல் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க, வண்டல் மண் அப்படின்னு. சாண்டி சாயில் மணல். ஸோ தீஸ் ஆர் த டிஃப்ரெண்ட் டைப்ஸ் ஆஃப் சாயில் டைப்ஸ் and their sizes and the relative proportion.
Based on the water retention, aeration and mineral content of the soil, the distribution of vegetation has got the following types. Now let us learn one by one. They are halophytes, psammophytes, lithophytes, chasmophytes, cryptophytes, cryophytes, axillophytes, calciphytes. What is halophytes? Halophytes, yeah, plants living in saline soil is called halophytes. Psammophytes, plants living in sandy soil is called psammophytes. Lithophytes, plants live in rocky surface, பாறைகள் மேலே வளர்றது, is called lithophytes. Chasmophytes, here plants live in rocky surface, that is called as what? அதாவது பாறைகளோட பிளவுகளில் வளருது, that is called as chasmophytes. Cryptophytes, plants grow below the soil, plants live below the soil is called as what? Cryptophytes. Next, cryophytes. Cryophytes, here plants live in ice surface, cryophytes. Next is axillophytes. Axillophytes, here plants live in acidic soil. Next one, calciphytes. Plants live in calcium rich alkaline soil. So these are the different types of, that is distribution of vegetations. Halophytes, psammophytes, lithophytes, chasmophytes, cryptophytes, cryophytes, axillophytes and calciphytes. With this we complete the edaphic factors. Topographic factors. Topographic factors. What is topography? Topography means the surface features of the earth. Surface features of the earth is called a topography. Topography factors here includes latitude, altitude, direction of mountain, steepness of mountain. Latitude, already we saw in the previous topic, isn't it? What is latitude? Latitude means what? The distance from the equator to the poles. The distance from the equator to the poles. Here the temperature is maximum at the equator and it gradually decreases towards the pole. Okay, so here the latitude here, so the vegetation will be varies here. The vegetation varies here because of the gradual decrease towards the poles. Then altitude. Altitude means what? Height above the sea level is called as what? Altitude. Height above the sea level. At high altitude, the wind velocity will be high. The wind velocity will be high, but the temperature and the air pressure will be decreasing. While humidity and light intensity will be increased. So, because of all these features, here also the vegetation differs. Direction of mountain. North and south faces mountain possess different types of flora and fauna because they have differ in their humidity, light intensity, light duration, temperature region, rainfall. Because of this, they have different type of flora and fauna. Of these two phases, north and south, they also receive different amount of solar radiation, wind velocity, rain. Okay, so where the direction, that is the of these two direction, the windward region will have good vegetation. Windward region will have good vegetation because the wind velocity is high. Whereas on the other hand, where there is leeward, எங்க காத்து வந்து பத்தாம இருக்கோ அந்த இடத்துல பாத்தீங்கன்னா the vegetation is poor. Okay, so direction of mountain also shows a different type of vegetation because of windward and the leeward. Next is steepness of mountain. மலை சரிவு இருக்குது இல்லையா, அது steepness of mountain. So steepness of mountain allow the rain to run off. மழை தண்ணி என்ன ஆகும், அப்படியே சரிஞ்சு வந்துட்டே இருக்கும். So as a result of this loss of water deficit, there is no retention of water. So here the crops which grow here will not have a good vegetation. Okay, on the other hand, if you see, for example, plains and valleys la pathina, there will be a good vegetation. Okay, because here the rainwater goes slow, that is a slow drain of surface water, and then water retention will be there. So because of here the vegetation is good. Okay, so with this we complete the tropical factors such as latitude, altitude, direction of mountain, steepness of mountain. So with this we complete our topic, children. In today's class we learned what is ecology, definitions of ecology, ecological hierarchy, branches of ecology, habitat, niche, ecological equivalence, ecological factors such as climatic factor, edaphic factor, topographic factors. Thank you, children.